It is a bazillion 1 degrees today, so I am not going to be shutting the windows or turning off the AC or any fans, so pardon any really loud background noise you might hear this time. But let's try to talk about the new adult, contemporary romance, and suspense books I read in July. Alright, I read my first book off my new adult TBR that I put together a couple weeks back, which was Tall, Tatted, and Tempting by Tammy Faulkner. This is about a deaf tattoo artist and a homeless girl who busks for money. And yeah, parts of it had me debating the questionability of how pushy he was, but other parts just had me all gooey and awe. So I liked it with caveats, but I liked it. Then I continued on down my new adult TBR list with Fighting Redemption by Kate McCarthy, which is about a guy who escapes his abusive childhood by joining the army, but in doing so, leaves behind his best friend's sister who he's in love with. I'm a sucker for the soldier storyline, so I enjoyed this. I did have some problems with the story structure. The author was trying to be clever by jumping around the timeline, but she didn't always do it effectively. She'd reveal a conclusion to a scene and then tell you how it happened, but there was no suspense because you already kind of freaking knew how it ended. Timeline jumping has to be done so strategically and with purpose, and that just wasn't really done here. But still, the story shone through, albeit with some difficulty, and I enjoyed it. Moving on to contemporary romance. Still the One by Jill Shalvis, the 6th book in her contemporary romance series Animal Magnetism, set in my home state of Idaho. I have a soft spot for this series. He's the local physical therapist, though I do not know any teeny tiny small Idaho town that can support its own physical therapy practice, but moving on. She was one of his patients. At one point she'd made a pass at him and he'd turned her down because he didn't want to take advantage of her, but she feels slighted because she thinks he doesn't want her. Okay, so that's the setup where our story begins. So now he needs her to go on a trip with him to the big city, Boise, to help convince a donor to give him a big grant. This is not the best of the series, but it was still really cute. I devoured it in one day. So remember the McCarthy's of Gannett Island series that my friend Amanda got me started reading? The first book is the one with the pun, Made for Love. Well, I'm now on to book 3, which is Ready for Love, which is not an awesome pun. What gives with that? It's very disappointing to me. Anyway, as for the book itself, I was also disappointed in it. This one is about former summer sweethearts who reunite after a tragic accident that kills her family. It was just a little weak and not all that interesting. Moving on to Double Play by Jill Shalvis. This is about a pitcher for a professional baseball team and a journalist who is embedded with the team. I tend to dislike sports-based romances, but I made an exception for this one as I'm on a quest to read everything by Jill Shalvis. And it was pretty cute. There's a plot point in here where the team develops a superstition where the team will only win if the pitcher and the journalist kiss. And it's kind of a through theme of the book, and it's really cute. I am kind of looking forward to the sequel. And now for the romantic suspense books I read. River Road by Jane Ann Krentz. This is one of her standalone romantic suspense books. I don't think there's anything paranormal in this one. Maybe not. Mason was Lucy's protector during her teenage years, but Lucy hasn't been back in Summer River in years until her aunt dies. Turns out there's more to her death. This is one of Jane Ann Krentz's weaker stories. Not bad, too bad, but not really engaging. Vengeance and Death by J.D. Robb, Book 6 of In Death. This is technically futuristic sci-fi mystery suspense. As you know, I bought most of this 40-plus book series on a whim at a library book sale, and now I have to work my way through them all. I'm through book 6, so I've got a ways to go. In this one, a madman is killing people from Rourke's past and trying to frame his butler. And I love this series, but come on, every single book cannot have the subplot of, is Rourke somehow involved in this crime? That horse is dead. Let's move on, because otherwise this is a perfectly lovely series. Alright, are there any series you feel use the same plot point way too much?